The number of dead in the Turkish and Syrian earthquakes has reached 15,000. It's now officially the world's deadliest earthquake in a decade.
There's growing anger that professional search and rescue crews have not been seen at many of the places they're needed most. Europe correspondent Lisette Raymer has reached Adana, and on the road there she saw just how hard it is for rescuers to get in.
However you try to get your head around what's happened here, the sheer scale of the calamity, no matter the angle or perspective, as the people and buildings get smaller, the tragedy only grows more overwhelming. Freeze the frames and the satellite images of what was and what now is draw a gasp. And from eye level, you fight the need to look away. As the haunting cry of a woman who can't take any more makes you feel much the same. On the street, piles of covered bodies now lie, waiting to be identified by family. They fill town halls too. Lying next to his fiancée, this man kisses his great love, his lost love, gently on the head. I was planning to clothe her with a wedding dress, but now I will clothe her with a funeral shroud, he says. The sound of grief is reverberating around Turkey, a collective heartbreak not even one should have to bear. Rescuers are armed with little more than courage, left to use saucepans found in the rubble in their search for something far more valuable. This boy rescued in his pyjamas and given a helmet and boots by his rescuers. There is a rising force in Turkey. It is the fury of the people.
It's definitely a desperate situation, given the fact that there is a lack of help from the government so far.
The anger at flailing authorities displays itself in anguish. Turkey's President Erdogan admitted today that of course there are shortcomings. It is not possible to be prepared for such a disaster. And he assured those begging for better that help is on its way. It is, but it's moving very slowly. The journey to the epicentre is hampered by snow and a crippling shortage of provisions.
Everywhere you look, there are aid convoys desperately trying to get to the hardest hit areas. This group has come from Moldova, one of the poorest countries in Europe, stepping up to help those in desperate need.
Emergency services, soldiers, aid organisations, all fighting each other for water and fuel. Stranded on the outskirts of this crisis, desperate to join the few who have made it and who are so clearly in demand. Many of the displaced are now living right next door to their pain. Alongside these destroyed homes is an icy tent city. 92,000 have been put up across the district, but temperatures are plummeting low below zero. It's so cold, this mother says. 3 families, all of us, living here at night. It is freezing. Like the fractured highway that connects their two countries, there is a long, treacherous road ahead for the people of Turkey and Syria. This earthquake has burst the heart of humanity here. Everything they know upended in an instant.
Unimaginable scenes there, Lisette, and it looks like the search for survivors is virtually running around the clock.
That's right, Michael. The sobering scenes like this one behind me are unfortunately commonplace around Turkey at the moment. Search and rescue teams working non-stop to reach survivors and also retrieve those bodies and give them some dignity in this tragedy. We were here at midnight, they were retrieving bodies then, and just in the last 10 minutes we have again seen them discover a lost life at the bottom of this pile of rubble. The apartment blocks that are still standing have severe cracks in them, and for that reason no one can be in those homes at the moment, although you likely wouldn't want to be for fear of an aftershock. And that is the real cruel twist here, is that those who are displaced and homeless are now camping out here in this makeshift tent campsite, having to keep warm rely on each other for support, while all day and all night their neighbours are being pulled from the wreckage right next door. On top of that, it is completely freezing. So the scenes that are unfolding here in Turkey at the moment are gut-wrenching. And the President, while he is pledging to be there for these people and rebuild these homes within a year, that promise on one hand seems incredibly unrealistic and hefty, but at the same time just far too long to wait for these people to get back to the lives they once knew.
Live in Adana, Turkey, that's our Europe correspondent, Lisette Raymer. Thanks so much.